how does the repentance process work?
How does you being healed from being someone who abuses children happen? Like, how did you just get better? How do you stand in front of the Lord? What did you do that made this okay?
You spend a lot of time on your knees to start with and communicating with the Lord. You go to church authorities and you confess and take their advice.
So you trusted them.
For example, in 2006, when we put in first to go on a mission,
Yeah.
the papers were sent to Salt Lake, and at that time Mike called and said, there's something wrong in our family. There's some stuff that's buried and it's not been well handled and it needs to be dealt with so that we can communicate.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a representative in Rexburg, and then he referred me to the representative for Idaho, who at that time was Neil Anderson in Salt Lake City, who was an apostle. Initially he was a 70 and then he was an apostle. And made an appointment to go and see him. And I says, this is what has happened in my past. I had written a letter to President Hinkley, and President Hinkley referred it to Brother Anderson to handle. And I admitted again everything that had come out years before.
What did you admit to? Like, what did they know? Were you honest in that letter?
I admitted to having intercourse with two of my sisters, and then in that same letter, I admitted to fondling my daughter and inappropriately. And I said the first time I visited with President Hinkley and told him that I was very sorry for what I'd done, and I would go home and make things right as much as I could. And I was in Taipei, Taiwan at the time, 8,000 miles around the world. And Elder Hinkley said, write to your stake president and see what he advises, and write to your father and tell him everything that's happened.
Right.
And so I did. And we received replies from the stake president and my father to President Hinkley. And President Hinkley, when he returned on his next visit, says, I want you to stay here and complete an honorable mission. And so I did. I served there for 2.5 years.
So you feel like you repented and this is over with, and I'm bringing up and ruining your life over old stuff.
It was repented, and I was told that I could continue working in the church at that time.